welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and today I'm going to be going through a few things that I could not live without when I go on my cruise ship contracts now. I would absolutely not go on a cruise ship contract without the things that I'm going to mention in this video. So if you are yet to start your cruise ship career, if you've applied, if you've just had your interview, then make sure you watch this video because I have a feeling you're going to want to take these things with you too when you join your cruise ship. But before we start, please press like and subscribe for more cruise ship content, and also if you have any video suggestions, please leave them down in the comments, or you can DM me over on Instagram at Cruising as Crew and I will be sure to get back to you. Also, if you have any questions, not just video suggestions, any questions, we can have a chat and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. So some of the things I'm going to mention are more important than others, but I will say so. So the first thing you absolutely need is a Revolut card, and I have mentioned this in previous videos, but oh my god, is it an absolute must. Working on a cruise ship, you are going to be going to loads of different ports. You could be in Croatia the one day, Italy the next day, Turkey the next day, all different currencies. You go to all these different places, so you're probably going to want to get some money out at different ATMs. Now, if you use your debit card to get money out at an ATM and it gets eaten, or maybe your debit card gets lost or stolen, it is a nightmare to get one sent to the ship. Like, it's near enough impossible. I mean, it's kind of doable if you are doing the same run for 3 months, but if you're on a world cruise and you're only stopping at each port once or twice, forget it. Forget it. You have no money now for the rest of your contract. Like, really. If for no other reason, it's important to get another card so you can use this to withdraw money from ATMs, and that way if this gets eaten, you still have your debit card. If this gets stolen, you still have your debit card. It's just like a security blanket, because let's say this has £50 on it. If it gets stolen, you can use the mobile app on your phone to transfer that £50 back into your debit account. So it really, you really have just lost a card. You haven't lost any money. Obviously, if you lose your debit card, it's just a nightmare. You have to cancel the card, you have to call your bank, which if you're on a time limit, if you haven't got much internet, absolute nightmare. And then when they say, okay, where would you like us to send your new card? You're like, I don't know. When's it going to be here? And I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 months or 2 months. It will take that long because you're on a ship. Now, there isn't just Revolut. There's loads of other companies, but you know, I'm going to recommend Revolut because that's the one that I use. I just wouldn't go away without it. And also the other thing, when I actually joined Scarlet Lady in Italy, I was an idiot and I had one of those card holders, and it's really tight, and I was trying to squeeze it to get the card out, and I snapped my debit card in half. Fuming. Luckily, I was able to get another one sent to me because we were in Italy for 2 months. But anyway, during that 2 months, I was still able to live and spend money because I could just use my mobile banking app to transfer money from my debit account to this card and use this card to get money out. If I didn't have this card, I would have been dependent on other people. I would have had to transfer money to my friend's account and then get them to withdraw it for me. So, I mean, there are ways around it, but it's an absolute nightmare. So, a Revolut account, it takes 2 weeks to come, 5 minutes to register online. There's not many feelings that are worse than being the other side of the world, losing or breaking your debit card and not having any other means of getting money out. It's not a nice feeling. So yeah, big recommendation. So number 2, a shoe door hanger. If you get a job on a cruise ship and it is an entry-level job, you are going to be sharing a cabin with another person. Very rarely do you share a cabin with more than one person. It does happen, but usually it'll just be one other person. Your cabin is going to be tiny. And when you go to work on a cruise ship, you're going to take your work shoes, your steel toe cap boots, your flip-flops, your trainers, probably some tennis shoes, and then maybe some dress shoes, so maybe some heels or something. So that is 6 pairs of shoes, and your roommate is probably going to have 6 pairs of shoes as well, and that's the minimum. So the minimum really is 10 to 12 pairs of shoes, and if you don't have a shoe rack, you don't have anywhere to keep these shoes other than at the base of your wardrobe. And then trust me, it's a nightmare in the morning when you're getting up for work and you're trying to rummage around while not making a noise because you don't want to wake your roommate trying to find the other shoe. So it will make your life so much easier. It will make your cabin look so much more organised and cleaner if you get a shoe rack. So I got this one from Amazon. As you can see, it just hangs on the back of the door. It will hold plenty of shoes, so you're not going to have them everywhere. You're not going to be tripping over them. I know it seems really small, but it makes so much of a difference. I took one on my first ship because someone had recommended it to me, and during my first contract I got transferred and I didn't have enough luggage space, so I chose to leave the shoe rack behind. So my second ship, the one I got transferred to, I didn't take a shoe rack with me, and oh my god. I mean, obviously I survived. It wasn't like I left my passport behind or something, but like I said, when you're trying to rummage around in the morning trying not to wake your cabin mate, or you're just trying to like get out the cabin as fast as you can to work, for a meal, to go to crew bar, and you can't find your shoes, just get a shoe rack. They're not that expensive, and I'm going to link everything that I'll talk about in this video down below on Amazon, so you can just click the link and get it for yourself if you wish. Number 3, we have a Luggage Holder. That is absolutely not what it's called. That's what I'm calling it for today. So this is a device that you can hook onto your trousers, and it's going to hold whatever you need it to. So your cabin key, maybe you've got keys for a stock room. So as you can see, this just hooks onto your trousers, and then it has a little clear plastic button thing. So your cabin key is going to be like this card here, and at crew office they're going to punch a little hole in the top of it just for this, so you can slot the plastic thing in between, button it up, and then you can attach it to your trousers. And it just means that when you go to open your cabin, it's easily accessible. You've got your key right there, it's on a piece of elastic, so you don't even have to take it off your trousers. You're going to be rushing a lot, so anything that makes your life easier like this, it's worth taking. So I'll link this down below, and the pack I bought, you actually get 3 in a pack, and it is worth taking 3 because you're going to use it so much. The plastic thing will start to wear away, so you probably will end up using all 3, especially if you're doing a 9-month contract. But even if you don't, and your roommate sees it, guaranteed that they're going to want one, so it's always worth taking more than one. Number 4, you absolutely need to take comfortable shoes. I cannot stress this enough. You are going on a cruise ship to work, you are not going on holiday, and I know you know this, but yeah, you're going to be on your feet a lot, and you're not going to regret investing in some comfortable shoes. I don't care how ugly they are, make sure they're comfortable. And honestly, there are some real funny looking shoes. Because, you know, when you first think about going on a cruise ship, you're like, yeah, I want to get some really nice working shoes. Honestly, like, after the first week, you won't even care what they look like. Your feet are going to be so sore. Like, there are people who wear Crocs, and I don't mean the nice Croc dolly shoes, which, by the way, totally recommend. They're amazing. I mean the original Crocs. People wear, I think it's the galley staff that wear Crocs. But anyway, point is, get some comfortable shoes. If you're going to spend money on anything, make sure it's comfortable shoes, and start wearing them in before you get on board. You want these shoes to be already comfortable for when you get on board. You don't want to buy them and unwrap them the day before you go on board and then start like wearing them in when you get on there. No, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to have blisters. Your feet are going to be killing you. If you know that in 3 months I'm going to be joining a cruise ship, hey, you've got 3 months to wear in those shoes. So even if you wear them for like 2 hours a day and just walk around the house in them, just start wearing them in, because like you really should. You can thank me later. Number 5, you need to take a universal adapter with you. So some ships have American plug sockets, some have European plug sockets. On my first ship, it had all American plug sockets. So I was like, oh, that's obviously just how it is. So for my next ship, I bought appliances that had an American end, and it was European. So I was like, oh, okay. So if you have a universal adapter, it means that you can plug your English plug into a European plug socket or an American plug socket or whatever. So this one I've got has USB ports, which is really handy because obviously, you know, phone cables, all sorts of cables just have a USB end now. So that's really great. Now, it is worth spending a little bit of money on your universal adapter. I love a bargain, and if I can get it for nothing, I will. But you will be using this for everything. You'll be using it a lot of the time. So I got a cheap one, and it wasn't great. I had to get rid of it after 2 weeks because it got so hot, and I was like, okay, this is hazardous. So it's worth getting like a good one that isn't going to heat up. Test it at home, you know, before you go on your ship, and when you plug it in on the ship, make sure you check it, make sure it's not overheating, and obviously don't overload it. But yeah, so I'll link the one I've got down below. You can have a look at that. Obviously there are hundreds, but this is one that I've been using for the past, I think, 1.5 years now, and it's great. And guaranteed, the roommate who didn't bring one will be using yours, so you'll get double the use. Okay, sailors, so those are the 5 things that I absolutely could not live without going on a cruise ship now. I hope you take my advice, I hope you get them, and I hope they change your life as they have changed mine. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any video suggestions, DM me on Instagram or leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye!